In August 2022, Adams County Sheriff's deputies raided the home of rapper Afroman in Licking County, Ohio. They did not find anything. They did not arrest anyone. But one deputy could not stop staring at the lemon pound cake on the kitchen counter. Afroman had his home security cameras running the entire time. What happened next turned a cake into the most famous baked good in America. At exactly 6:45 p.m. on August 31st, 2022, two marked patrol cars rolled up to 473 North Main Street in Winchester, Ohio. The address belonged to Joseph Foreman, better known as Afroman, the man behind the 2001 anthem Because I Got High. That night, he was not home, but his kitchen was about to become the stage for a legal and culinary legend. 7 Adams County Sheriff's deputies stepped out, badges clipped, service pistols holstered, 3 of them carrying AR-15 rifles. The search warrant signed by a county judge a week earlier cited allegations of kidnapping and drug trafficking. It authorized them to search for firearms, prescription drugs, electronic devices, and anything that might connect the address to a supposed crime. The window for action was tight from 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. Every move inside would be recorded. Afroman's home security system, mounted above the entryway and in the kitchen, was rolling the whole time. Deputy Sean Grooms led the team. After a loudspeaker warning and no response, Deputy Brian Cole pried open the front door. Flashlights cut through the hallway. The deputies fanned out in pairs, methodically checking the living room, bedrooms, closets, and garage. Inside the kitchen, between a fruit bowl and a stack of unopened mail, sat a lemon pound cake. Yellow, glazed, and completely innocent. It had been baked by Afroman's mother, left out on the counter as a kind of edible welcome mat. The footage shows one deputy, badge number 2154, pausing not once but several times to study the cake. He leans in almost hypnotized, as if the entire narcotics investigation had boiled down to a single citrus-glazed loaf. Meanwhile, the rest of the team moved with practiced efficiency. A safe was logged in the master bedroom but left untouched. A handheld metal detector beeped at a picture frame, but no firearms were found. The only thing seized was the SD card from the security system itself, bagged and logged as evidence. By 7:15 p.m., the deputies had finished their sweep. No weapons, no drugs, no missing person, not a single arrest, not a single charge. The after-action report filed that night reads, "No actionable evidence located, no arrests made. The kitchen, the cake, and the footage were all left behind, except for the digital copy now in the sheriff's evidence locker." What the deputies did not realize was that every glance, every step, every moment of hesitation in front of that lemon pound cake was now preserved in high definition. And in the weeks ahead, those images would escape the evidence room and become a viral sensation, because in America, even a failed police raid can become a pop culture event, especially when there is cake on the counter. Afroman did not just let the raid footage gather dust in a drawer. He did what only Joseph Foreman, the man behind Because I Got High, would do. He took the absurdity, sprinkled it with a little lemon zest, and turned it into art. By December 29th, 2022, the world had a new anthem, Lemon Pound Cake, uploaded to YouTube and ready for a remix, Hungry Internet. The video did not just show the raid. It looped the now iconic moment, a deputy, badge number 2154, standing transfixed by a homemade cake, glazed and golden, sitting in the center of the kitchen like a dare. Afroman gave the deputy a new name, Police Officer Pound Cake, and let the footage play out in slow motion, set to a beat that was equal parts outrage and laughter. The title was catchy, but the nickname was pure meme fuel. Within days, the video was clipped, stitched, and lip-synced across TikTok and Instagram. By March 2023, Lemon Pound Cake had racked up millions of views on YouTube alone. with TikTok adding millions more as users reenacted the deputies' cake hypnosis in kitchens from Ohio to Los Angeles. The comment sections became a battleground of puns and pound cake solidarity. One top comment read, "If the cake is the real evidence, I'm serving it up in court." The hashtag police officer pound cake shot up, and creators across platforms began posting their own takes, some baking lemon pound cakes, others just staring at their own desserts in tribute. Micro-influencers got in on the act, and a private Discord server called Pound Cake Push coordinated meme drops to maximize the viral surge. The internet's appetite for the story was insatiable. Clips of the deputy's cake fixation, soundtracked by Afroman's chorus, became a running joke. TikTok's Stitch feature exploded with reactions, legal commentary, and even faux cooking shows. The moment the 7 deputies filed their civil suit on March 13th, 2023, the meme machine kicked into overdrive. In just 48 hours, TikTok logged an extra 2 million views on the lemon pound cake sound, while YouTube's counter spun past 4 million. Afroman was not just making music, he was reframing the entire raid as a national punchline. The absurdity of a $3.9 million lawsuit over a cake video only made the story sweeter. Every share, every view, every remix turned the original footage into a cultural event and the deputy into an unwilling internet legend. What started as a tense police search ended up as a celebration of satire, free speech, and the irresistible pull of comfort food. The meme was now bigger than the raid, and the stage was set for the next act, the deputy's day in court. On March 13th, 2023, the absurdity of a viral cake video took a sharp turn into courtroom drama. 7 Adams County Sheriff's deputies, Sean Grooms, Mike Henderson, Laura Miller, Brian Cole, Tom Sullivan, James Frazier, and Earl Kelly, filed a civil lawsuit against Joseph Foreman, better known as Afroman. The same officers who swept through his kitchen, stared down his mother's lemon pound cake, and left with nothing but a security camera SD card now demanded $3.9 million in combined damages. If you're counting, that's more than $500,000 per deputy, enough to buy a lifetime supply of pound cake plus a new kitchen to stare at it in. The complaint, stamped and filed in Adams County Common Pleas Court, reads like a tour of legal grievances. The deputies alleged defamation, claiming Afroman's music videos, especially Lemon Pound Cake, portrayed them as bumbling, cake-obsessed, and unprofessional. They argued the footage placed them in a false light, accusing the rapper of editing and distributing their faces, uniforms, and badge numbers for laughs and clicks. The complaint even included claims of intentional infliction of emotional distress, citing national ridicule, online memes, and the relentless hashtag police officer pound cake as proof of real-world harm. Each deputy signed on as a plaintiff, their names and badge numbers listed on page 1 of the complaint. The lawsuit didn't just target Lemon Pound Cake, but every remix, TikTok, meme, and merchandise item that spun out of the original footage. The deputies wanted the videos taken down, the memes scrubbed, and a permanent injunction to stop Afroman from using their images in any future content, digital, edible, or otherwise. But the real headline sat in the damages section. $3.9 million, calculated from a cocktail of reputational loss, alleged threats, and punitive pain and suffering. The deputies argued that their careers had been derailed by the internet's laughter, that their families faced harassment, and that their professional standing had been reduced to a punchline. The complaint quoted comment sections in TikTok stitches as evidence, citing lines like, "If the cake's the real evidence, I'm serving it up in court as proof that Afroman's satire had crossed a legal line." Afroman's response was as direct as his music. The footage came from his own security cameras inside his own home during an official police action. He argued that his songs, videos, and memes were protected artistic expression, commentary on a public event delivered with a beat and a glaze of lemon. The legal brief set up a collision between reputational harm and the First Amendment, with the internet watching every move. The lawsuit was more than just a demand for money. It was a high-stakes test of who owns the story when law enforcement walks into a private home and ends up on the wrong end of a viral meme. The deputies staked their reputations on the claim that Afroman's videos had done them real harm. Afroman staked his defense on the idea that art, satire, and the right to remix your own life, even the parts with armed officers and cake, are as American as, well, Lemon Pound Cake itself. March 18th, 2026. The Adams County Courthouse, usually a place for traffic tickets and the occasional zoning dispute, became ground zero for the most talked about dessert in America. National outlets camped outside. Inside, a jury of 12 Ohioans was about to decide whether a viral music video, a lemon pound cake, and a rapper named Joseph Foreman, Afroman to the world, would cost 7 sheriff's deputies $3.9 million or nothing at all. The deputies sat together, their names and badge numbers already immortalized in the lyrics and memes. Their complaint, defamation, false light, emotional distress had been read into the record, along with page after page of YouTube comments, TikTok stitches, and screenshots from the now infamous lemon pound cake video. The courtroom heard about the raid. No arrest, no charges, no evidence except for a home security SD card and a cake that stole the show. The footage, played for the jury, showed Deputy Sean Grooms, now forever police officer Pound Cake, pausing in the kitchen, gaze locked on the glazed loaf like it held the answers to the universe. Afroman took the stand in his signature suit, defending his right to turn his own security footage into art. He reminded everyone that this was his house, his cameras, his mother's cake, and his beat. His legal team hammered home the First Amendment, satire, commentary, and the right to remix your own life, even if it means looping a deputy's cake hypnosis for millions to see. The jury watched the video again, this time with the chorus echoing through the courtroom, and the moment felt less like a trial and more like a cultural referendum. Deliberations stretched into the afternoon. Reporters refreshed their feeds, waiting for a verdict that had already become a trending hashtag. Then, just before 5 p.m., the foreperson handed the verdict form to the bailiff. The judge read aloud, "We, the jury, find for the defendant, Joseph Foreman, on all counts. Damages awarded $0. The deputy's attorneys sat in stunned silence. Afroman grinned, then hugged his wife. The press release from his team landed before the ink was dry. America still has freedom of speech, and sometimes cake wins. Outside, word spread instantly. Social media erupted. Within hours, the lemon pound cake video doubled its views, trending not just for its humor, but as a symbol of First Amendment rights in the age of viral remix. Legal analysts called it a landmark for artistic expression. Meme makers declared victory. The First Amendment, it turned out, was as irresistible as a homemade cake on a kitchen counter. For Afroman, the verdict was more than a legal win. It was a validation that absurdity, when served with honesty and a little lemon zest, could take on the full weight of the law and come out golden. The courthouse emptied, the jury went home, and somewhere in Ohio, a kitchen counter was probably missing a cake. But the story wasn't over. America, it seemed, had one more thing to say, and it was about to say it with cake. Within hours of the verdict, the Adams County Sheriff's Department started receiving lemon pound cakes by the boxful, not just a few. By the end of the first week, local news stations counted more than 150 cakes stacked in the lobby and lining the hallway, each one a golden glazed reminder that America was in on the joke. Some arrived with handwritten notes addressed to Officer Poundcake that said, "Enjoy." Others bore frosting messages like "Justice Served" or the hashtag "Free Speech." Bakers from Cincinnati to Cleveland, church ladies, college students, and even a few professional pastry shops joined the rush. One bakery in Chillicothe posted on Facebook that they had never had so many orders for lemon pound cake in a single day. The sheriff's spokesperson confirmed the deliveries and said they were documenting each cake as it arrived. By the end of the month, the unofficial tally hovered between 200 and 300 cakes, with no official audit, just a steady stream of boxes from all over the country. The spectacle became its own news story, with camera crews filming cake drop-offs and Ohioans debating whether the department would eat, donate, or auction off the loot. For a brief, sugary moment, lemon pound cake became the language of solidarity, protest, and celebration, a tangible, edible meme delivered straight to the front door of the law, long before a lemon pound cake became the most talked about evidence in an Ohio police raid. It was already a star in American kitchens. The story starts in 1796 when Amelia Simmons published American Cookery, the first cookbook written and printed in the United States. Tucked among its pages, a recipe for pound cake, 1 pound each of butter, sugar, eggs, and flour. No fancy gadgets, no electric mixers, just pure buttery arithmetic. As citrus imports brightened American pantries in the early 1800s, bakers started adding lemon juice and zest, glazing their cakes with sugar and sunshine. By the late 19th century, lemon pound cake was the centerpiece of church socials and Sunday suppers, especially across the South. Community cookbooks from black churches in the 1930s and the 1940s described the lemon glaze as shining like a sunrise over the congregation. Then came the Bundt Revolution. In 1966, Nordic Ware's Bundt pan, a ring-shaped mold, transformed pound cake from a humble loaf to a showstopper. That same year, a lemon Bundt pound cake took second place at the Pillsbury Bake-Off, and the country's appetite caught fire. Bundt pan sales tripled. Suddenly, pound cake was more than a dessert. It was a celebration, a centerpiece, a reason to linger at the table. From colonial hearths to viral memes, the recipe has stayed simple, but the meaning has only grown richer: comfort, community, and the sweet taste of home. A lemon pound cake doesn't just sit quietly on a kitchen counter, it broadcasts an invitation through every sense. According to Dr. Charles Spence, Oxford's resident gastrophysicist, the glossy lemon glaze is more than decoration. It sends a visual jolt of brightness, priming the mind for sweetness before a single bite. When the butter-rich crumb gives way, it releases a cloud of citrus aroma that, as Spence puts it, anchors the moment in the brain. This is not just chemistry, it is a multisensory ambush. The brain cannot help but notice. Even a deputy in the middle of a narcotics search, service weapon holstered, finds himself pausing, drawn in by the promise of sugar and sunshine, but the pull of lemon pound cake runs deeper than neurons firing. Food historian Tony Tipton Martin describes pound cake as a kind of edible language, a way black families across the South have said, "I love you, I'm proud of you," or "I'm here for you," without needing words. The lemon glaze, she writes, signaled both prosperity and renewal at church gatherings, a symbol as bright as its flavor. When Americans sent hundreds of cakes to the sheriff's department, they weren't just joining a meme. They were tapping into a tradition of using food to speak, to comfort, to protest, and to celebrate. In the end, the cake's power isn't just in its taste, it's in its ability to unite, to disarm, and to turn even the most serious moment into something undeniably, irresistibly human. Only in America could Joseph Foreman, Afroman of Because I Got High fame, turn a deputy hypnotized by pound cake into the legend of police officer pound cake, face a $3.9 million lawsuit from 7 deputies, and win a First Amendment victory on March 18, 2026. No arrests, no charges, just viral justice, home security footage, and cake deliveries as protest. In the end, lemon pound cake says what words sometimes can't. Grab a fork, leave a comment.